Also taking place on Thursday, a little football game that means some things to some people around here. NC State, Georgia Tech, at Georgia Tech on Thursday. This is an old school ACC Thursday nighter. This is an old school ACC knockdown, drag out. Both teams are going to be ready to lay everything on the line. Matter of fact, they should. We know Georgia Tech will because that's been their calling card all year. And Dave Doeren, this is kind of why he's the coach of NC State, is to get his team bought in regardless of the situation. He's not calling plays on defense. They're running Tony Gibson's 3-3-5. Not calling plays on offense. That's all Robert and Nye. Dave Doran's the big picture guy. He's the motivational guy. He's the CEO. He needs to have his team ready. Thursday can't come soon enough for Dave Doeren. Now, I host by the way, shameless plug, I host a podcast covering state sports. It's called Pack Therapy. During football season, Pack Therapy features Mike Glennon, former NC State quarterback, longtime NFL quarterback. He's my co-host, and we talk about state football. So because of that, obviously I prepare very hard for the podcast, and we do them once a week. I get these spotlights on, or these pictures, snapshots is the word I'm looking for, into NC State fandom and Wolfpack Nation. Sometimes it's very, very entertaining, right? You win a game, gosh, a team can flip on, or a fan base can flip on a dime, right? I'm looking at them this Wednesday, and the sky is falling. You go through a weekend, you win a game by a bunch, you show up the next Wednesday, everybody's happy, they're complimenting each other. It's fanatics is an appropriate term. You don't really see that on a bye, though. When you have a bye week, you don't see big swings, but we kind of did this week. Last week, off the loss to Duke, there was some trepidation. There was some very obviously bummed out fans. Like, don't get me wrong, they weren't happy about it, but there was tempered optimism, right? CJ Bailey having his first real step back. He's going to learn from it. He's a freshman quarterback, and the defense did some good things, and got to clean this up. But like it was all contextual. This week there was a surprising amount of calling for Dave Doeren's job. Matter of fact, I'll read some of the tweets that I passed along to Mike on the podcast. The only people who enjoy bowl games, this comes from Awakened Soul 33 on YouTube. The only people who enjoy bowl games are people who enjoy being mediocre, SMH. P.S. How many offensive coordinators do we have to go through to realize that maybe, just maybe, Dave Doeren is the problem? Bunch of emojis. At Red Fisher 5378. Dave has a losing record in the conference. No championship appearances. If we want more of the same, he needs to stay. This program is heading south. He seems uninterested. And that's just a few. That's just to get the flavor of the joint. Dave Doeren, and I've used this analogy in the past, he is Billy Hoyle from White Man Can't Jump. That is Woody Harrelson's character. And I'm not talking about him being a hustler. I'm not saying he dresses up like a chump and then goes out there and makes shots. I'm talking about his relationship with Rosie Perez, Gloria. Rosie Perez's character, Gloria. By the way, Rosie Perez was one of the announcers for the Tyson fight on Friday. Their relationship is one that throughout their relationship, Billy Hoyle messes up, bets away their money, gets robbed, whatever. Gloria gets mad, says she's leaving, and then Billy does a big dramatic gesture, right? I write you a song. I show up and do something public. I bring you flowers, and then Gloria takes him back. And it happens like that over and over and over again until, spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, she's gone for good this time. And they're both better for it. It's a good movie. I suggest you check it out. That's Dave Doeren. Dave Doeren has messed up some, right? Last year being 4-3, quarterback shuffle. You have the MJ Morris situation going on, all of that, and fan base. We heard the I'm out, I'm leaving, he's gone, he needs to leave, and then what happens? Big dramatic gesture. He plays him a song. It's written just for you, right? It's a 5-game winning streak to end the season and full speed ahead to the Pop-Tarts Bowl. He always makes the big dramatic. He always beats UNC and then talks trash after to get everybody back. Well, it's time for the big dramatic gesture. right? It's time. Right now, the fan base is upset. Gloria's saying she's going to leave. You're not going to do this to her again. She spent too much time remembering foods that start with the letter Q. If you've seen the movie, you get that. If you don't, that's fine. Forget that part existed, that reference. If I'm Dave Doeren, there's two things that I would like. One is the most obvious thing in the world, and the other is maybe a little bit more nuanced. First, I am making sure, with every fiber of my being, with whatever it takes, you win these next two games. All right, the Georgia Tech game and the UNC game, you win both of those. That's a glorious, loving gesture to the fans. The other is I would feature the heck out of C.J. Bailey. He is the beacon of hope. He is the one thing that can get everybody back on your side. NFL coaches learned this a long time ago. Right? You may believe in sitting your rookie quarterback or your highly drafted quarterback for 2 years so they can learn. But the moment your job's on the hot seat, you roll that rookie quarterback out there and hope he looks good. So then you get to turn around and go, see, I am the one that brings you this beacon of hope. I am the one that is best suited to develop this young quarterback. If Dave Doeren wants everybody back on his side, C.J. Bailey can be that beacon of hope. If he plays great and then also commits to being around NC State for the remainder of his career, at least pretends to do so publicly, that's a big feather in the cap of Dave Doeren. But all of that starts tomorrow night against Georgia Tech. And if there's one thing we know about Georgia Tech, it's that they're not showing up with, bows and arrows and looking for long-range finesse-style warfare. They're bringing like clubs and sticks and bats, and they're looking for hand-to-hand combat.
Hope your run defense is ready.
Hope your run defense is ready. Hope your offensive front is ready. They're bringing, like I said, they're bringing blunt force weapons. They're coached by an offensive line coach. Their head coach is a former guy in the trenches. Brent Key, former offensive lineman himself. Anyone that's ever been on a football team, they beat to their own drum in a lot of ways.